Hello, Simmers. Welcome to the first episode of Beyond Simified, the new podcast by Beyond Simified, and myself, aka TheSimSupply. So we'll just go around the group and do a few introductions, so in case you guys don't know who we are. So Arthur, do you want to go first?
Sure, yeah, I'll go first. I'm Arthur from Simified.com, and I run Simified.com, and I also do YouTube videos for my house videos. And that's pretty much it. Check it out.
Okay, I'm Dan, and I run BeyondSims.com. I've ran that site now since November 2012, and I was a writer on the site before it was rebranded since early 2011. I've been playing The Sims since around 2001, 2002, and I am extremely excited for The Sims 4.
Oh, bless. So yeah, I'm James from TheSimSupply. Basically, now I only do YouTube videos. Back in the day, I used to have a fan site, but that's years past now. I've been playing The Sims since like 2000, since the beginning, and yeah, I'm just generally pretty intrigued by the series. So yeah,
It's always good to be intrigued by the series. Very, very good.
yes, it is indeed.
Definitely. And so Beyond Simified is a podcast that we will be doing as often as we can. It'll cover the latest and greatest from the Sims and SimCity franchises. And we don't have a schedule yet, but we will work on a schedule and release that when we kind of know a better idea of how often we'll be doing these episodes. But
However, this first episode has been in the pipelines for a number of months, so that gives you an idea of how on the ball we are.
Yeah, we did not record an episode without James either, and this is not a re-recording. Not at all.
Not at all. No, but after this, we'll try and get a decent sort of little schedule going on, hopefully.
Yeah, sure, we can sort something out. Okay, so our first discussion point today is The Sims 4. Now, Arthur and James are at a bit of an advantage here because they got to play with Creator Sim at Sims Camp, lucky little chaps. So, a hot topic at the moment is the art style of The Sims 4. So what do you guys think of it, after being able to see it for yourself?
Mm-hmm. I personally, when we first kind of like, well, they first spoke about it before, like in one of the live broadcasts, they said they were going for like a stylized reality kind of thing, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, why are they doing that?" And everyone was kind of skeptical about it. And then when we actually saw it for the first time, I actually really liked it because I feel personally it's a really nice combination of The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. And none of this, like, a lot of people are saying that they want it to be realistic and all that, but none of the Sims games have ever been realistic. Like, they haven't looked like that. They're not trying to be realistic. They've always had that sort of cartoony styling to them. And I think The Sims 4 like sort of lives up to that in a really nice way. But yeah, that's what I think about it anyways.
yeah, I kind of feel the same way towards it. I mean, I don't know, the art style, there's just something about it that kind of, I don't know, you really like it. I can't really describe it or put my finger on what exactly it is, but there's just something there that makes you think about like The Sims 2, like previous games, just how it looks. And I don't know,
it's like really Maxis. Like all Maxis games have that look about them.
It's got a lot of charm, hasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. But it's looking good.
It definitely looks really like colourful from the images we've seen. The environments look, they look great. They look detailed, and I think with the art style they're going for, they can really implement the Max's humour, which we've had in like all Sims games. Because if they did hop to a more realistic style, then just things like that wouldn't work, and I think it wouldn't feel like The Sims if they went like as realistic as say Battlefield or something like that in terms of graphics.
Yeah, that's what I always bring up. I'm like, do you really want your Sims to look like the characters in Battlefield? Like, do you really want a Sim looking like that? I don't want some old wrinkly detailed textured face Sim. Like, I don't want to look at that. I just want a funny Sim that's going to do funny things. And I think they've really hit the nail on the head with the stylings they've gone with.
Yeah, if it's too realistic, you don't like it. I don't know. I think it would get boring a bit too fast.
But where's the fun if there's not something wacky in the game? The Sims is to get away from real life, yet still simulating life in some way, a really wacky life, which has loads of weird things, but, you know,
Yeah.
you know, clowns burning down your house and things like that. But it's all good.
So, like for Gamescom, I guess James and I could talk a little bit about that and what we saw and what Sims Camp was like.
Yeah, I'm not jealous at all in any way. No,
I don't know.
I'm sure you're not. I'm sure you're not.
you know, I didn't have a passport or anything, but yeah, no.
Yeah, Sims Camp was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. We learned a lot of stuff. I liked actually learning the details, like the technical stuff behind it, like build mode and just the animations. I thought it was pretty neat to see the like how they kind of like make them and put them all together into like they have different pieces and different outcomes and how they just play. Like you don't even notice it. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, they had that custom sort of program that they showed us. They showed us how they have all the different all the different animations and how they're all sequenced together in a different order, and it's really cool to see. And yeah, what you mentioned before as well, how they kind of explained everything as well. Like a lot of people that don't have the explanation that we heard about a lot of things, like say for example about height in The Sims 4.
Right.
A lot of people are like, oh my god, why aren't they doing that? They're so lazy and all that kind of stuff. But it's like we had the explanation as to why they weren't, and that really made me understand like why they couldn't do it. And for those of you who don't know, basically the reason was because at the moment in The Sims 4, the way animations work, every different height of sim has to have unique animations so that it works with all the objects and everything. And currently in The Sims 4, there's between 12,000 and 14,000 new animations. And as soon as you add another height in that, that just multiplies it. And the more you add in, the more it gets. And it's just crazy.
I think you'd rather the teams work on more features and, you know, making the game better than working on things for different heights, really, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And especially with a game like The Sims, like you got to think about everything they do. They interact with each other, and they use all the objects in their world. Like in other games, like in Battlefield, for example, right? They run around, they have all those really realistic animations, but they never really interact with many things. They never really actually do that many sort of things in the game, and that's true about a lot of games. But The Sims, they do a lot of like interaction and a lot of usage of items and other characters, and that's why they have so many animations. That's why it's so hard to get different heights in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely a complex thing. I mean, I'm just after you saying that, I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like having a short sim standing next to a tall sim, and then like doing some kind of interaction. I don't know how they would get around that to make it look right.
Yeah, like imagine doing like a hug or something. So you have those two different heights, and if you have multiple heights, all the different combinations of animations you need is crazy. And because they don't have a technology to sort of automate that, not yet anyways, that's efficient enough. Like that's why they haven't done it. Is essentially like that's the reasoning behind it.
They do want to do it though. It's definitely on their list for the future. It's just not coming with The Sims 4.
Definitely. At least now people know why they're not getting heights in the game, and you know you can't really complain of that. There is a genuine reason. They're not just leaving it out, going, you know, tough luck. We're not putting it in because we don't.
They're
want
not just
to.
like, yeah, we're leaving it out. We're going to put it in the last expansion. Lol, 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 lol.
YOLO.
Like that is not their reason for it.
No.
They have a legitimate reason as to why it's not there.
Okay, so another hot topic at the moment is the fact that
hot topic.
Yes. Another hot topic is the fact that it's not create a style in the base game. Now, I personally I'm not too bothered by this because I don't really mess with the tool too much. I may lighten things and darken things from time to time or change the color, but you know I don't go into patterns, and you know I just stick with preset stuff, probably because I just like playing the game mostly. And you know we managed in The Sims 1 and The Sims 2, so I think because I first played The Sims 1, I played The Sims 2. It's not as much of it's not a deal breaker for me because I'm used to not having it in my game. So, what are your thoughts on it? Because I know a lot of people are.
I'm totally in the same place you are. Like, I personally could not care less if it was in the game or not. But on the other hand, I can totally understand why people are so passionate about it. Because
Definitely.
it adds such customization and such creativity in the game that it is a big loss to see it removed. But it's definitely not. It's not off the table. They're just saying it's not in the game right now. But yeah, I can definitely understand why people really want to see it and why they're upset. But yeah, again, me personally, I could not care less if it was in there or not.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I just use it for changing the colors of things, making things lighter or darker. Like when the game was first out, I did use, the patterns and stuff like that and
Yeah.
tried to
Same.
change
Did
things up a
wacky
bit.
things for the fun of it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But now I look at it and it's like I don't really need leopard print on everything or so.
Do a
Look, I
single
think
gen and cover everything in flames.
I think this is where they came from as well. I think they realized like there's like a niche of people that do use it a lot, but the majority of gamers I don't think use it as in depth as the tool actually allows them to go.
Right.
I think most people just use it for like quick like lightness, darkness, that kind of thing. And I don't think the majority of people just play stuff in and go and play. Like I think that's kind of where they're coming from on the reasoning as to
Yeah.
why it's not in there yet.
And to be fair, like I tend to stay away from it as well because there have been times before where it's like gone so slow and it's loading all the
Yes.
textures up, and then you're applying them and it's not changing. You press the tick button and then it's the same processing, and it's just not worth the hassle sometimes.
Mm.
So I'd rather more
Yeah,
optimized
I
features.
definitely think that's like because the amount of like you got to think about it like this as well. The amount of time they have to put into that because every item in the game can have a different texture, and I read a good sort of reasoning as well somewhere. I can't remember where, but someone was like, if you're gonna have all like. Imagine the amount of customization there is, all the different colors, all the different variations that the game has to load. And it has to sort of, every time you go into the game, it has to load. And that's probably one of the reasons why it takes a long time to load the game, is because there's so much variation in it that it just takes a long time to like compute and get it all working.
And I
Yeah.
think that is one of the things with The Sims 3. It can just take forever to load. I mean, it takes like a good 10-15 minutes before I get into the game. And I think that's one of the things they're working on with The Sims 4, optimizing it, making sure it runs really, really well, and that
Yeah,
it's a
definitely.
smooth experience for everyone.
Yeah, they were talking about that a lot at SimSham. They were saying because one like they talked about because this is kind of going off topic a little bit here, but they were talking about hair and the hair like people wanted hair animations. They were saying that adds a lot of overhead to the game. Like it adds a lot of computations that would really slow down the game on like lower end computers, and that's like the reason it wasn't in the game as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough, because I would rather a more solid game that works really smooth. Because I mean, looking at like create a sim, it looks really smooth. And that's really excites me because
Yeah.
when you look back at Sims 2, I noticed this when I was doing my Let's Play. It's just so smooth, whereas I'm used to sometimes Sims 3 can be a bit slow at times. So it seems like they are.
At times, you mean all the time, all the time, man, all the time.
You want to go downtown and your sim will walk and then like he'll stop a bit, or you fast forward it and they won't spin around and change their clothes because it's fast forwarding. It's because it's just doing so much in this open world. I think that's one of the things there why it may be doing that. But
Next item on the agenda.
well,
Cross off this.
let me just get my born out, check them all off. I think that's most things covered for The Sims 4. What are your impressions on it? Are you excited for it? Are you dreading the release?
Oh
Definitely
man,
not dreading. Yeah.
I'm absolutely spewing. I do not want the Sims. No, I'm kidding. After Sims Camp, I was 100% convinced that this is going to be the best Sims game ever, like by far.
Yeah, pretty much. Even writing up the stuff after like the whole Sims Cam thing, it's like I really do just want to play it right now. Like, please.
Yeah. Like even though the game like when we saw it was so early on, it was still really nice, and I wanted to have a go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to be awesome when it comes out. I can't wait. Hopefully we'll get a nice Mac version. EA, hello. Okay, so that's the end of the Sims 4 section. We are now moving over to the world of SimCity, another important topic. So, just announced this week, actually, as of recording, a SimCity expansion pack is actually on the way, called Cities of Tomorrow, where you'll be able to take your city into the future, a little bit like what The Sims is doing at the moment with Into the Future. Quite interesting that both games are going into the future. Have both of you seen the trailer for it?
Look, I haven't looked into it that much. I don't know the details, but to me, like I saw the few things like the stackable skyscraper. It really just looks like a skin of new buildings. That's all I can see.
Yeah,
Really, like, I don't
I
know.
can see why you think that definitely, but I think it's going to be a lot bigger because I was wondering if we're actually going to get expansion packs because all we had so far was like small DLC bits like the amusement park, the airships, and now like the Red Cross stuff. And we've actually finally got an expansion pack announcement, so it will be interesting to
Yeah,
see how much content we get in comparison with the DLCs.
yeah. It definitely is interesting that they can do like expansion packs for the game as well, and I'm hoping it does add like pretty like sizable features that like just to prove that it can be done basically. So I'm pretty interested to see where it goes as well, but at the moment I don't know that much about it.
So some things you get with the game, there's a brand new disaster in the game. So you get a giant robot attacking your city, which I can guess they're bringing back from SimCity 4. Your city changes. Your city becomes more futuristic. With when you place down things like a research facility or something like that, and then your city starts getting a makeover. It changes its look, and also there's like a greedy corporate thing in the game, which everyone wants, and like it can go really wrong, or you can go all green in your game, and they all seem to be trying to address density as well, because you can build mega towers, and your Sims can live in them, work in them, and they can just build up really high into the sky. So I think that's one of the things they're trying to do, so you can get more population into the cities at their current size.
Yes, the current size. That is the one topic that everyone brings up with SimCity.
Oh,
If you've
that
ever looked
drives
at
me insane.
every post that they've ever made is like bigger cities, bigger cities, bigger cities.
Yeah.
And as annoying as all those comments are, I 100% agree with it. I haven't played that game in months, and it's just because of the city sizes.
I agree with them, but
I
it's
just don't.
just
I
tiring.
can't see the point of playing the game if it's just there's no room. It's just frustrating. It's such a great game, but it's just completely ruined by that one fact.
I think they are going to work on it because they did release a survey, and one of the things it mentioned were the road tours, which have come out recently, and it also mentioned the Cities of Tomorrow expansion pack, and that's been announced. And in that survey, they had an offline mode mentioned, bigger maps. There's also a suggestion for unlimited space. You can just keep building for as long as you want. That was one of the
That
other
would be
suggestions
nice.
as well. So, I think we are going to get stuff. They've been doing really well with these updates at the moment, and I think they're not going to stop that anytime soon. They seem to be 100%
Oh, that's for
behind
sure.
the
Yeah,
game still.
they've been doing tons of like updates. So, like that's really cool to see. They're doing them all the time, which is really good. You don't see that in a lot of games.
I do hate the publicity SimCity has associated. It has a view that's bad. Bad servers, DRM, all that stuff, just because of a shaky launch, which really
Yeah,
irritates me. It doesn't deserve the score it got because before it was released, it was getting like everyone was loving the game, and then as soon as it got released, everyone was changing their review scores because of how the servers were at launch.
like yeah. Let's get this straight. Like the servers now are fine. They're perfect. They're fine.
Yep.
And like I still don't understand why everyone was up in arms about the DRM. Like I mean, it's online. You have to be online. But look, I don't give a crap about that. But the one thing is the city sizes. That just ruins the game for me. I can't get over it. It's such a shame. It's such an amazing
See,
game,
when
but
I
it's
went
just
to
ruined
EA
by
in
that.
January and I played that, I thought they were going to be tiny, so I was building it like right in. And when I was at the event, I was there thinking, "Whoa, these are huge. Why are people complaining?" And it took me all day to fill it up, but I think that was because I was still new to the game, figuring it out. And I noticed once I got the game, I was just filling them up really fast. And I always find when I'm playing that game, I can't go crazy with road designs. I can't, I'm really cautious with how I use my space, and I'm always worrying how much space I'm gonna have in my city.
That's why I love Cities XL. I always do crazy road designs and all that kind of fun stuff that you can do when you have room. Give me
See, all they
room,
need to do
EA.
is just take the map sizes from Cities XL, and you've got a perfect Sim City there.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
so
that's it.
detailed. It, I think,
That's the one thing that would make the game like 10 out of 10, like in my books.
but they're working on it.
That's it.
I'm sure we will get something like that soon.
Well, they're definitely going to be working on it because they haven't. released a statement about it. They haven't said they're not doing it. They haven't said they're not going to do it.
I remember.
But of course, they haven't said they're doing it. But they're doing something. So
Yeah, I think they're secretly working on it and just not telling us.
I remember Ocean Quigley. He was saying after launch we're definitely going to expand it. You know, he was all for expanding cities after launch, but obviously he's left now and started his own indie studio with some other Max's employees. So. I'm not sure, so it's kind of gone a bit quiet since.
I still don't think that would. I don't think that would affect too much. I'm pretty sure they have set plans. So.
They're not really that vocal about it now, whereas he was quite, vocal, saying, "I understand." Blah blah blah.
He's really passionate about it. Like that's why it makes me wonder why he left. Maybe was he disagreeing with things they were doing, or I don't know. I don't know why he left.
I think he said, that he planned to do it anyway, because when I was looking up his studio, it was like the Facebook page and stuff were registered in like January, December time, so it was already planned, I think, and he was going to move over. But I think an article said that the SimCity launch problems made it easier to leave. Because he said how much effort and work he put in.
Yeah, that would definitely be really disheartening to see that happen to like something you worked really hard on.
Yeah, and all the time you put into it.
Oh yeah, because he convinced Lucy Bradshaw into funding that game, making the engine, and he's the reason why we've got this new SimCity really, because he pursued it when he had free time after Spore. So I'm sure things will be okay. We'll get bigger cities one day.
I'm sure.
We will.
Them now.
I'm sure.
But people just need to be careful how that they, because people are very vocal about it, and it begins to drive me insane when people start gobbing off at Max's, being really rude, disliking. The Cities of Tomorrow expansion pack videos got so many dislikes just because people are complaining that there's not, just because there's not big maps, or saying,
every
DRM.
SimCity video has so many dislikes because of it.
I know, and it's just people.
I just find it funny, to be honest.
What more can they do? They've gave us free stuff. They gave us free sets. They're giving us constant updates.
What do you mean? What they can do is make bigger cities. That's literally what they can do.
I know, but they just need to be careful how they're, how they are saying it. If they just gobbing off at them isn't going to get what you want.
They are basically, they already know that everyone wants those.
Oh,
so.
yeah, they aren't. They do know
I
that.
think,
definitely.
I think what it's, I don't think they can ignore that fact, but I think what they're trying to do, I'm sure they're working on it. Can't say for sure, but it's just that I think they have to figure out how to make that possible, but not really affect overall game performance and how well it plays too. So there's a lot to consider behind that too.
I know when you do get a huge city, your game can start getting a bit
right. Yeah, so they have to look at those kinds of scenarios. So that will take a bit of time. It's not like they can release it tomorrow, but everyone hopes.
Fingers crossed. Keep them crossed. Yeah. Also, another thing in SimCity, it is now on Mac. Hallelujah. I can finally play SimCity again. To be fair, though, I do still play it in boot camp on my Mac because it tends to run a bit smoother. But it is a native port, and the only difference is I can turn the lighting up a bit more in boot camp, whereas in the Mac version it's on minimum, which makes it look ugly. It looks ugly with lighting turned off. Absolutely ugly. So I prefer playing it in Windows. But it is a nice native port, because Sims 3 runs in that dodgy thing called Cider, and that is just not even acceptable because it just crashes all the time on my Mac. So it's good that we've got a nice native port. So hopefully they'll approach the Sims 4 the same way. I'm going to have my fingers crossed for that as well. But you two aren't Mac users, so you don't understand my pain.
I am a Mac user.
Well, you don't use it as much, do you?
Not as much, but I've definitely got a Mac. So
okay, well, let's cross our fingers. Okay, so are we going to move back to the world of The Sims now? I think we've covered SimCity. I can't think of much more news.
I feel like this is a really weird order, going to SimCity then back to Sims. But okay.
Mixing it up. Whoa, bit of variation.
I think it's a little crazy for my liking.
Oh, you got to have a bit of craziness. Got to live on the edge, James.
Oh, God.
Okay, so the Sims 3 movie stuff has come out. It was released last week at the time of recording. I'm pretty sure it was last week. Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah.
And that brings 3 new themes into your game. That is the heroes and villains, Western, and the horror theme. I'm pretty sure that's right. And it was the final stuff pack for The Sims 3. Have both of you got the stuff pack?
Yes.
Yes.
Also, it was whenever it's like the people say final stuff pack. I just remember when back in February at the community day where SimGuru Ryan accidentally let that slip, and then we all tweeted it, and then they're like, "Oh no, that's not true." So we all had to retract it, but it was true.
Did you say
But
it?
anyways,
I must have missed that.
back in February, like it was at the community day for University Life, and they said it was the final stuff pack, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god.
And yeah, anyway, that's just a little story.
Oh, that was a great story there.
Yeah, well, he just let it slip, but that was the end of the franchise, pretty much. So
Yeah, that happens.
Oh wow.
I don't know how they keep stuff so secret. That's
I suppose they have to really, because I know, like with us with embargoes, we're like, oh, we want to tell everyone, but with them, if they say a word, their job, they'll probably get like disciplined and all that sort of stuff. So I'm pretty sure that's a good way to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
yeah.
I told everyone, so I got fired. Yeah, that wouldn't work out too well.
I told everyone, so I'm not invited to community days.
Oh, my life's over.
That's what would happen. That's what would happen to us.
Life over. Okay,
Might as
so
well just quit Sims.
quit the Sims. See, I really like this new stuff pack. I don't know why, but my favourite is town life stuff. I don't have a clue why it is, but I just really like that stuff pack. Even though I don't use
honestly,
much
with
of it.
me and stuff packs, I buy them, but I never know what's in them. I don't know what
I do find at times they can be quite what's the word?
Thin.
Anorexic in content.
Yes, lackluster.
They can be. Again, people hate me for this, but compared to The Sims 2, where you got 60 items per, stuff pack, they can be a bit lacking or unequal with the balance between men and women's clothing. Katy Perry, Sweet Trees. And I
They
still...
don't even sell it.
Oh yeah, sorry guys, Katy Perry fans, that game's been taken off the shelves.
That's only because the contract ended. They didn't renew it. So.
Yeah, sorry guys, you can't get your Katy Perry game anymore. So grab it while you can. It's not on Origin.
I'm just glad I already got it.
Yeah,
I'm all good in the hood.
I bought that when I came back from the Island Paradise community day. I was in like a Sims mood, so I walked in and grabbed it, and then I hated myself.
It's going to be a collector's item because you can't buy it anymore. So it's going to be like worth millions of dollars.
It's like the Katy Perry Showtime Collector's Edition. It's good. It's all like glittery and all that. And then you get like little Collector's Edition guitar picks, and they're made out of cardboard, and it says "Do not use" or stupid.
Why can't it be made of plastic?
No, it says not for actual use, and they're made of cardboard.
Why can't they just make a proper one? Like that wouldn't cost much more.
It made me laugh so much. But movie stuff, I quite like it. It's handy for machinima makers, really handy, if you do make machinima. Otherwise, it may not be up your street as much, because it is really just stuff for sets and like random stuff.
It's really like an imagination-based stuff pack, I feel. It's like, you gotta imagine that they're like...
You got to imagine they're in a saloon. You got to imagine they're superheroes or like a vampire or,
Because there's no gameplay features. It's just like decorative items, basically.
Or if you want the Batmobile.
yeah. Sim mobile is what they call it. Yeah.
So out of 5, what would you rate this stuff pack?
Out of 5, that's a really unorthodox number of
10
points. Yeah, that's better. I don't know. I've had it since it came out, but I haven't even opened my game. Like, I installed it, but I haven't opened my game.
Haven't you?
But I'd probably rate it. I don't know, because we saw it back at SimScam. It has a lot of really nice items. Like, they're really, really nicely done.
Yeah. It's definitely really nice. And think about that loading screen. That is a nice loading screen.
On a scale, on a scale for stuff packs and not in any way comparable to expansion packs, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, that's decent then. That's a decent amount. How about you, Arthur?
Well, I haven't looked at everything in it. I've looked at the Create a Sim stuff, and that there's a lot of nice clothing there. And I've seen some of the stuff in the catalog, but I haven't actually found everything yet. I would have to give it an 8. It's actually really good. Like the stuff that I have seen is really good. I do want to see more. It's just that they forgot the collection, so it's kind of hard to just go in and find everything. And so hopefully they add that in with a patch, and then my score will change.
Definitely, it's hard.
Like a 9.
It is
But yeah,
hard.
it's still nice. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'd rate it 8 out of 10 as well, same as Arthur. I was quite disappointed with the lack of, well, no collections at all, so it's hard to organise stuff when I'm trying to find what's in there, especially when I'm trying to review it. That makes it a bit difficult. But I quite like the content we've got in there, and it's, it's handy, especially if you're doing things like machinima. So I think machinima people are going to love it. And why are people driving past my house?
That was really loud.
Be quiet, people outside.
Close your damn window.
It's too humid to do such things. Okay, so yeah, I think it's a good final stuff pack. It's not the best stuff pack, but it is really good, and it has one of the best loading screens, I think, for a stuff pack, because some of them have been quite lazy. They've not been that good. So I quite like it. I really do like it. And it's hopefully we'll get some cool stuff packs with The Sims 4 as well. Fingers crossed, unless they completely
that's something to look
replace it,
forward to.
unless they replace them with the store or something.
Yeah, they might do that because the stories work pretty well. Like if they just refine it a little, it can be really good.
They could do stuff packs on the store and
Or
just
maybe just make stuff packs DLC now.
yeah.
Or it's not
Just
DLC.
Origin only stuff packs.
Don't give EA ideas.
They can use the idea, but they have to give us all credit.
They can give everything has to be free for us. Okay, so our final discussion point for The Sims 3 is The Sims 3 Into the Future. So again, at Sims Camp, you guys got to play with this. So, in case you don't know, and you've been under a rock, The Sims 3 Into the Future allows you to take your Sims into the future as...
Does it?
Well, I guess that was
I didn't know that. I thought it just had new items. I didn't see that when we got to play.
Oh, mate, you need to crawl out from that rock. And you can go to future.
That's awesome.
It looks really cool. It's something that hasn't been done before with the Sims franchise. So you two have played with it. So what do you think of it?
I think it's really well done. Like, it had way more content than I thought it was going to have. Like, just the fact that there's the 3 different types of future. Like, you have the dystopian, the utopian, and then just, like, the regular future. I think it's really cool that you can do that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat how you can go back and, like, change it, too. So you can choose to change.
Yeah.
Like, you
Affecting
can...
the timeline.
Yeah, and you have descendants, too, now. So, like, what you do affects them as well. So it's kind of neat. And there is a lot of great content. And like even you've seen in broadcast, the world is just very, very nicely done. I mean, the houses and everything. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, it's a really nice way to end, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, when it first was announced, I was thinking, oh, this isn't going to top Island Paradise. There's no way it can do that. But from looking at things we've seen in live broadcasts, images, and just gurus tweeting about it and things like that, it looks really good, and I like how it's original. It's not like a remake of an older expansion pack. It's something new, and there's also that area in there which I thought was going to be a rabbit hole, like a abandoned area in the middle of nowhere, like a World Adventures tomb, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the live broadcast that wasn't a rabbit hole, I was so happy. I was just fangirling over that, because everyone was thinking, in the walkthrough saying, "Oh, wonder where this leads," and someone just left a comment saying a rabbit hole, and I was thinking, yep, you're probably right, but no, it wasn't a rabbit hole, and I'm always glad when we don't have a rabbit hole.
Isn't that the best when there's no rabbit holes?
Oh, us sim players are so easily amused.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, but I think it's definitely going to be a lot of fun when it comes out.
Definitely, it's going to be a great way to end off The Sims 3. And I'm sure after that expansion pack, we'll get things from the store as well. Like, we got the new
probably.
world coming as well, which I'm really excited about, because we can sell stuff. Hooray!
Yes.
Open for business!
Open for business! Best expansion pack ever.
So
I'm so stoked with that whole.
when Lisa
Don't
came
even-
on and started showing it off, I was just clapping, screaming, just so excited.
Yeah,
I
it
know,
looks really
Lisa,
good.
Love her.
I mean, I originally thought Dragon Valley was going to be awesome because it was really reminded me of The Sims Medieval, and I love that game. And when they started showing it off, I was just getting so excited, and I'm really glad that they've made this world. And I'm sure we'll get
I'm really
more
glad
items
that
as
everyone
well.
wanting business. Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that you can't sell food to have a bakery. Like that's sort of the only
that's
thing that's missing next to the cosmetology makeover part. But that's
Yeah,
I mean, it's understandable.
I used to like in Sims 2 Open Business. I used to like making like clubs and making like you could do like gyms and that kind of stuff. That was fun.
Yeah.
I always used to make like a bakery, and then it would have when I first started Open for Business, it would be like a bakery, then it had like an electronics store with it, with a little bit of a restaurant, a car dealership out back, and
Yeah, you'd put everything.
The
Just
car
everything.
dealership was so over the top though. You could make money so quickly from a car dealership.
it was so much fun. It's literally all I do in The Sims 2, and it's probably
Yes, that's all I
I'm
do.
just really fascinated by businesses, so that's probably why. But yet I'm not doing anything businessy when I go to uni. Oh well. So that
You're
is
gonna have a
going,
sad life.
doing business for my life.
No, because you're not doing business, and that's what you're
I'm
interested.
just gonna go into a Great Depression now and just sit here contemplating the meaning of
Hashtag
life.
the Great Depression.
Okay, so I think we've covered everything we've wanted to talk about for The Sims 4, SimCity, Sims 3 movie stuff, and into the future. We have, haven't we? I'm pretty sure we have.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that is awesome then. So that wraps up our discussions for the first episode of Beyond Simified. I think it's been a pretty good episode, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too.
Don't get up and stuff, mate. Wait for the reviews to come in.
Wait for the what?
Wait for the reviews to come in.
Oh,
Don't get too excited.
1 star.
Oh, damn.
No, but if you let us know what you think of it, you can tweet each of us. I'm at Beyond Sims, Arthur's at Simify, and James is at TheSimSupply. You can let us know what you think of it. That would be great because we can only improve.
Any feedback is very helpful as well. I guess you want to see something different and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, because all we can do is improve it, and hopefully we can involve you in that process of improving Beyond Simified. I almost said Beyond Swagified there.
God. Well, no, we're not calling it that. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry, but that's
We're
what...
not
Oh, God, I love Skype conversation names. Okay, guys, so thank you very much for tuning into the first episode, and hopefully we'll be able to sort out a schedule to get episode 2 to you a lot sooner than how long it took us to get this episode to you, because we started planning this in like May, June time. So
yeah.
it took a little while.
Yeah, a little while.
Not too long. Not too long.
And in the next episode, people won't be driving past my window, hopefully, and I'll shut the window. So pray for cold weather, guys, and then that'll be shut.
We hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of Beyond Simified. We hope to have some soon. We'll definitely let you know when we're going to do that. Just look out on Twitter, on one of our Twitters, and we'll definitely be talking about it. And like we said, do give us feedback and do let us know.
That would be great if you could, and we can constantly improve it. And yeah,
I don't know about constant, but we'll try.
We will try our very best.
Definitely.
We'll try to improve it. No guarantees, but we'll work on it.
May just make it worth everything you complained about. We'll make sure we do it even more. Okay, thanks for listening again, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Well, we'll not see you or hear you, but
you'll hear us.
You'll hear us again soon.
See ya.